It's Ashley, and I am really excited to be coming here live to Channeling with Love to talk about my mediumship story, essentially. I thought it would be really fun to answer the questions that Kristen Davies had done, and also at the end I'm going to be tagging the next medium that I think would be really fun to hear from. So I will be doing that later at the end of the video. But pretty much we have 10 questions, and I thought it would just be really fun to chat and share my stories and answer any questions. As you guys have questions, please feel free to post them in the comments, and I will be following up with them. And hey guys, thank you so much for joining, Marie Eve and Christina. Thank you all for popping on here. I am really excited to be talking about this. A lot of the questions that are on this list are questions that I've received from people in my real life, or people on my in my group in Channeling with Love, or during readings, or during just Q&As like this. So I thought it would be fun to kind of pick and choose some of the more common questions and go ahead and answer those. So the first one is, where were you born with your abilities? And it's kind of, I feel like, a trick question, because everyone is born with the ability to communicate and sense spirit, and communicate with, I should say, and sense spirit. And so we all have those abilities, but in a different sense, when people are first learning about me and my mediumship, a lot of people ask, like, well, have you always been able to do this, or did you learn this? So pretty much I feel like I was always able to, of course, because everyone can. And I feel like throughout my entire life, I've been guided by spirit without really knowing it. There were a few, hey Kristen, there were a few scenarios in my life that were just kind of, I couldn't explain them, and so I just kind of had to roll with it as like a paranormal experience. And so I didn't really know anything about it. I didn't realize that it was spirit or my guardian angels or family members communicating with me. And then I learned how to channel by, well, first I had a reading with Kristen Davies, and right in the reading, it was like, oh, you can do this. Like, you've been doing this. Let's practice. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, let's do it. And I immediately sensed my guardian angels, Petadiah and Samuel, who came right in during the reading and removed like a ton of blockage from my heart chakra and moved like a ton of energy around. And it was just like really intense, but super exciting. And so I had a reading with her. And then about a week afterwards, I learned that she was starting a mediumship class. And so I was like kind of debating back and forth, should I do it? And it was just on my mind. I couldn't get it off my mind. I was like, I think I just have to do this. I just have to go for it. And so I did. And that was in July of 2018. And since then, I've been able to fully channel just through sheer practice, like the number of hours of practice that came from that class, and the classes that were immediately after it was insane. But once I felt comfortable enough, then I moved forward with offering services. So that's kind of how I came into my abilities, was just a lot of practice and recognizing that we can all do this, and just believing that we can all do this and making it happen, pretty much. So yeah, I think that's a lot of people are like that. I have heard of a few people who when they are born, or I guess like for as long as they can remember, they've been able to sense certain energies or see angels or see people's chakras. I think Jamie Butler has said on some of her videos that she's been able to sense people's energy centers or their chakras since she was really little. And she didn't really know what that meant. But yeah, it was just, for me, it was just something like, oh, I can do this. So now I got to practice and figure out how does it work for me. So that's kind of how I came into it. And yeah, make it happen. Everyone can do it. So if you want to do it, make it happen. The choice is yours. That's one really cool thing is if you choose to communicate, if you choose to reach out, if you choose to pay attention to the signs, if you choose to be open, you're going to be receiving guidance from spirit. You're going to be seeing all those signs. You're going to be opening up even more. So it's really a choice. Like, do you want to see this or do this, or don't you? And you, even if you do, you don't have to be like a full-blown medium, like offering professional services. It could just be for you, your family, your friends, you know, just for your own guidance. So if communicating with spirit or studying mediumship just really resonates with you, make sure you listen to that and move forward with it, because you can use it for just everyday life. You don't have to do it as like a profession or a side job or anything like that. And I know there's some questions that kind of touch on some of that, so I will be coming back to this later. But number 2 is, what is the most surreal thing that has happened to you as a medium? And I've been kind of struggling with this question because there are just so many things that just show up throughout the day, in readings, in Reiki healings, in my life, that I just like am blown away by, that I'm not even sure like how to pick a surreal thing. I will share one example, and I think this was the most kind of not strange, but the most intense example so far was actually before I considered myself a medium. My great-grandfather had passed away from colon cancer, and the night he passed away, it was the summertime. We were sleeping out in our living room on the floor, because that's like the cool place to sleep when it's summertime and you don't have to be in bed for school. And so we were sleeping out in the living room, and everyone was asleep. The TV was on, but everyone was asleep. And I just felt like my great-grandpa walked through the front door of our house. And the way our living room was set up at the time, there's like a hallway, and then you kind of walk into the living room space, but there was a couch kind of dividing the living room from the hallway space. And he just stood behind the couch, and I was like on the other side of the couch in the living room on the floor. And he just like kind of stood there for a minute. And I just saw all of this in my mind's eye. I had no idea what was happening. I didn't know why he was there. I didn't understand anything, but he just seemed like really happy and peaceful. And I was just like, okay, I'm seeing this. This is happening. All right. And I didn't really know what was going on, but then the phone rang. And he actually, when the phone rang, he walked, his energy went into the back of the house with my mom and dad in their bedroom. And I knew that he was going to say goodbye to my mom, because my mom and him were really close. And they just had a really special bond and connection. And she had been taking care of him a lot through his cancer treatments. And she was just really stepping up to the plate. And so I knew he was specifically going to say goodbye to her without like really seeing it or understanding at the time. But the phone rang, he went back there, and my dad came out a few minutes later and just kind of said out loud, he kind of knew we were awake, or at least I was awake, and said that our great-grandpa had passed away. And I think I freaked him out a little bit, because I just said, I know. And that to me, I think, is the most surreal thing, only because I didn't really have any context for what was happening or any understanding of what I was seeing, but I was seeing it, and kind of my soul was like guiding me through that experience in the moment. But I've seen so many beautiful things. I've received so much information that is just confirmed time and time and time again. And every single time that happens, I'm blown away, and it's so magical being able to communicate with spirit, because every day it's something different and surprising and interesting. Oh, one other surreal thing. I know it was like the most surreal, but I will share this other little story because it's fun. And I think a lot of you may have seen my video on YouTube about meeting an earth dog. And I was walking just around my office building, like I was going to pick up lunch or something during my work day, and all of a sudden I just felt this like big earth energy walking right next to me down the sidewalk, and it just felt like a giant wolf in like mossy green tones with earth tones. And I had no idea that there was any sort of being like an earth dog before. And he was just happy to say hello and to be right there in that moment with me, and just to walk me around the building to where I was going. He actually was really cool. He walked me to where I was going to pick up lunch. He sat outside. I went and grabbed my lunch. I came back out, and he was still waiting for me right there on the sidewalk, like a dog would just sit and wait. And then he walked me back to work. And I've seen him, I want to say, probably about 5 or 6 times since then. And every time I see his energy, and he's just popped in because I'm talking about him, but every time I sense his energy and I feel him, it's just like wild nature feeling. And to me, that's just so surreal and beautiful and really exciting to be able to connect with an energy like that. So that's definitely one of the most surreal things since I've kind of claimed the title of medium or channeler. So I really enjoy that type of energy as well. The next question is, what is the funniest thing you've heard or experienced from spirit? And there's a lot of really awesome, fun little stories, but I think the one that stands out the most to me was, and is still to this day, when I first was kind of finding my rhythm, or finding like not necessarily my vocabulary, but being able to communicate clairvoyantly with my guardian angels. And it was just really funny. I don't even know what we were talking about or what the guidance was, but they were giving me confirmation that I had gotten the answer correct. And I don't know if you guys have seen Wayne's World. I think it's Wayne's World 2, where he meets Cassandra. Or maybe it's Wayne's World 1. No, I think it's 2. No, it has to be number 1. Anyway, he's like learning Cantonese because Cantonese, I think. And he says Zang to the camera, like in Cantonese, and he's like cheesy like that. And they were flashing that scene from Wayne's World in my mind to give me confirmation. And they were like, Zang. And I thought that was like the funniest thing in the moment. And it's still like one of my favorite ways that I was like receiving confirmation from my team. And I just love that movie. So I think it's hilarious that they reference it. And that's one thing too that angels do, and really all of spirit does, is if they know that some sort of like movie reference or a song lyric or something that you've seen before and you just really like connect with it, or you think it's really funny, or it just really is something that you've watched a billion times so you're very familiar with it, they will reference it to kind of get you that information really, really quickly. And so for me, saying that Zang was like really hilarious, and I immediately knew what the energy, what they wanted me to feel, and they were just like there to like cheer me up and like make me feel more confident because I was getting the confirmation that it was correct. So I think that's one of my favorites. But there's a few times it was really funny. One other funny story. It was actually the very first time I was ever channeling live ever in Kristen's mediumship class, and I was actually on camera with Kristen. I just like jumped in feet first, and I was just doing it. Like, I was so freaked out. I had to be at the park sitting in the grass because I was like about to have a panic attack because I was so scared to go live and to channel because I didn't really know if I was doing it right. I was like really second guessing it and I just wasn't sure. And Archangel Gabriel came in and he was telling me how much he loves me, and it was just like a really touching emotional moment. But for whatever reason, I just felt guided to like throw the peace sign, like tap my heart and like be like, hey, what's up, Archangel Gabriel? I just did it on camera, and he did it back to me, and then he like went peace, like he kissed his fingers and did the peace sign. So Kristen did that back to me in channeling him, and I thought that was like the most random, like silliest, cute thing that I had seen and have seen for a while, like in my own personal experiences with Archangel Gabriel. I thought that was hilarious. That's so awesome. Okay, so I'm seeing a question here. I've got a feeling my mom is referring to my birthday on 7/21 by constantly seeing the time at 7/21 or 10/10. Yes, definitely. Numbers, angel numbers, those are really easy signs that angels can send to you. And they know what's going to draw your attention or what's kind of on your mind or what's going to really stand out to you. So they will kind of gently guide you to look at the clock at 10:10 or at 7/21, or look at the calendar and see 7/21 and be really like highlighted with that. So yeah, Kristen, that's what I did. And I loved it. And I still love it. I think it's so great. The next question, number 4. How has your family, friends, or significant other responded to your mediumship? I think, honestly, for me, I am really, really lucky to have a family that at first they were just like, huh? What? What is this? What is this all about? I don't really understand. Or they were really patient with me to let me kind of explain and to share how excited I am to be able to do this. And I think it kind of surprised them for a little bit. And then I think they kind of recognized, like, I've always kind of been into paranormal shows, UFO shows, psychic stuff, like since I was really little. I was just telling my niece actually that I was obsessed with like unsolved mysteries when I was little, and like just kind of weird off the wall stuff like that. And not necessarily weird, because like a lot of people enjoy that, but I was literally like 7 wanting to watch unsolved mysteries. So there's like a lot of really interesting things that I think kind of added up to, oh yeah, this makes sense for Ashley to be doing this or to be interested in pursuing this as a hobby and then eventually as a side business. So they were really allowing and supportive, and it was really lovely to be supported, especially when I was kind of worried that I would kind of like not be shunned, but judged, I guess. But I had to just, when I first really started and getting practice, and I was just so excited, like it had affected me so greatly that I needed to share that part of myself with my family and my friends and even some of my coworkers who I work very closely with. I was just so excited about the changes that I was seeing in my life that I had to tell people, yeah, I'm doing this, or it just kind of came up. Like I couldn't hide it because it was just this new vibrant part of me. And so I definitely, and I'm kind of going into number 5, which is, when did you start telling people you were a medium? I definitely started pretty early. Once I decided that I was going to do this as a professional, I was not really shy. I didn't like just walk up to someone and say, hey, I'm a medium. But I did, like, if people ask me, hey, what'd you do this weekend? I'm like, oh, I just did a lot of work. I had some clients. I'm a medium now, so I did XYZ, blah, blah, blah. And I just kind of played it cool, but I didn't want to, I was like bursting. So I was like, I can't not tell people, especially the people that are really close with me and see me on a daily basis or interact with me a lot. I just felt like I couldn't deny that part of myself. I had to share it and step out. So I was very open about it. And I really appreciate everyone who had to deal with me at that time. My husband, Alan, when I first started channeling and studying and taking the classes, he was like, I don't really know about this. I don't really want to talk about it. He was worried more about me being burdened with like lower vibrational energy. And I think once he realized that this is a really important part of who I am now, and it's not going away, and there's no way that I would intentionally or ever push myself to speak or get in contact or have any sort of involvement with a lower vibrational entity. So, and I had to kind of explain to him, all of the protections that I had set in place and everything that just makes, being able to communicate with spirit is just so special and magical. I just kind of shared it with him, even though he wasn't always on board to hear it in the moment. I would just kind of share it with him anyway, and I think he just got used to it and realized, like, this is a really big part of my life, and it makes me very happy. So he's been very open to it, and he's actually had some of his own experiences and has started really kind of paying attention more to his energy and things that are around him. So it's been fun to watch that. And Kristen saying she really blossomed, and the expansion, she was very excited. Oh my gosh. Yes. And I want to share, I know that the next question here. So when did you start telling people you're a medium? Basically, when I started being a medium professionally. And then number 6 is, how has mediumship changed your life? Kristen really highlights that. I really blossomed, and I was very excited with just the possibilities and the amazingness of being able to connect with spirit. But I want to highlight, before I started really channeling and being very intentional with my energy, I would be very, very easily, I'm also an empath, so I didn't really recognize I was an empath until I started doing a lot of research and took the channeling classes. And I just had a hard time managing my energy and holding my boundaries and really filling my space with my energy and the intentions of what I want to hold in my own energy. And so because I was having so many problems with boundaries, I was always very affected by, I'm still affected by the news. I'm still affected by some, content-wise, a lot of media stuff. But I was very enmeshed and embroiled in a lot of political news. I was kind of obsessed, thinking the end of the world is coming and thinking this is horrible or all these crazy things are happening. And my energy was just really low vibrational, and I had a really hard time managing it. And I also was super type A personality. I had to know everything that was going to happen during the day. I have my little checklist. I still have checklists, but I'm a little bit more loosey-goosey with it now. But I was very I have this appointment in 3 weeks. I have to get these documents together. Super, super, super focused, and not in a balanced way. I was very uptight. And sometimes when I am worried about something, I will find myself, or when I am not managing or watching my energy as closely, I will find myself kind of slipping into that kind of fear, I need to control everything space. And I have quite a few little flag triggers that let me know, okay, I need to step back and I need to go meditate, or I need to hand over any fears or worries that I'm having about maybe a dental appointment, or, you know, something like day-to-day stuff. So it's just really like, since I started channeling, I've been able to manage my energy. I've been able to manage my thoughts, knowing what triggers me or what's going to make me worry or what's going to make me feel like I'm not in control. And then like me clinging to little bits of control. Like I had a really intense planner, way more intense than anything I've shown anyone in like mediumship classes or anything. Really intense planners, and just like, it was a little much. So it was really, really helpful to be able to kind of get in tune with my body and understand what's going on within my energy, so I could really see, okay, this is stressing me out a little bit, but I'm going to ask my angels to really support me around this particular situation. And everything just seems to flow. Like there's no hassles. I mean, of course, there's like just normal stuff, but it's not like really big, dramatic anything has happened since I started channeling. It's been very, everything's just been flowing and working out, and has just been very light filled and very high vibrational. And I've had so many more opportunities and so many cool ideas, and just really fun, exciting things have taken place for me since I've been able to be in balance and really focus on keeping my energy high vibrational, which then helps me and will help all of you manifest the reality in which you want to live. So manifesting more abundance, manifesting a job that you would really love, manifesting creative opportunities, manifesting family or friends that you want in your life, like just bringing those people in, healing, manifesting healing opportunities as well. So it's just really, really, it's been amazing. It's been a really beautiful and magical experience for me. And my life has very dramatically changed since then. I am just, like I said, more comfortable. Oh, that's one thing too. I really want to highlight this because this is something that I hadn't ever realized. I was living in a space of so much fear. I was always afraid that I was going to get hurt, or something really terrible was going to happen to me, or just something, like I was just kind of always in like a constant, like I didn't even recognize it, a constant state of fear, like social anxiety and fears and stuff. And once I kind of recognized, okay, I can hand all of this off. Like I have my whole team. I feel protected. I feel not alone anymore. That immediately like made my energy feel so much lighter, and I just handed everything off for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I just handed stuff off. And after that like really big decompression, basically letting everything go, I realized like I feel so much more comfortable in my vessel. I feel more confident, and I feel more vibrant and more safe. And that's, all of those things are really important for like your self-confidence and focusing on your self-love and your self-care. And I feel like that's really made me a more well-rounded person to help the people that I do in my full-time job, help you guys here in Channeling with Love, anyone who's coming to me for healings, group healings. I have a group healing coming up July 25th. That's going to be really awesome. And I absolutely love creating those opportunities to help as many people as I can, to provide a healing space and to show you guys what Angelic Reiki is all about, because it's so amazing. So definitely think about that if you haven't heard about it yet, or if you're not sure what Angelic Reiki is. You can go to channelingwithlove.com and check out my my services and kind of get a feel of if that's something for you. I highly recommend it. But just being able to be more well-rounded in myself and feel comfortable and safe and more confident and be willing to step forward more and use my throat chakra, share my truth more. It's just been really awesome to see how much I can help others by just sharing who I am. It's not even extra stuff. It's just me being me. So that's one really amazing thing that has really changed my life, and it's really helped my perspective and how I interact with the world around me and interact with the people that are closest to me or are just passing by. So to me, it's been really, really a blessing to be able to connect. So I'm seeing some other questions here. Someone's asking, how do you explain your abilities to those you love who are not into that kind of stuff? Asking for a friend. So yeah, I've had a few family members or friends who are just like, meh, okay, that's not really what I'm interested in. And I just explained to them, you know, I can sense the energy around me, and by doing so and using my senses, I'm able to communicate with spirit in a lot of different ways. And I'm able to share guidance for others if they feel comfortable with me sharing that guidance for them. So I kind of started out like really broad and gentle. And if they have more questions, then I talk about how it works for me, like what are my strengths in my clairs. So I don't know if you all know what the 5 main clair senses are, but there's clairsentience, which is feeling the energy around you in your body or in the space around you. Clairaudience, which is hearing, and that may not be hearing fully with your ears initially. It will as you progress and as you open up, but it may just be hearing in your mind. And it may just be your voice at first when you're starting to practice. That was something that I really had to focus on and trust, because I was hearing everything in my voice for a long time. And then I started to pick up on the subtleties of the energy, how the words were being used, what words were being used. Some words, I had no idea what they even meant or how they were supposed to be used. And you can really get a sense of the beings that are speaking to you and how they structure their sentences and the words they use, and just the energy that they use within the structure of the sentence or the message that they're giving you. So there's just so much that you pick up on and you kind of recognize as you're practicing. There's clairvoyance, which is seeing with your mind's eye, and also you can eventually see with your real eyes, as well as claircognizance, so knowing, clair-knowing, just kind of having the answer. And when I first started channeling, clairsentience, so feeling the energy, and claircognizance were my 2 strongest clairs. And so when people would just ask me, like, what do you do? I would just kind of be like, oh, I just sense the energy, and I just, you know, share what I get, and I go from there. And then if they wanted more info, I go into all the different clairs and kind of where I'm at, or how they work. And then there's also clairsentience, clairvoyance, claircognizance, clairaudience, and I'm totally blanking on the 5th one. So there's a few others, like I know there's smelling, tasting, and like feeling more physically, not just the energy kind of where they're at, but more like having physical touch directly. Tangency, I think. But if you guys remember any more, please put them in the comments, because that would be great. I'll read them out. So yeah, I just kind of go from there, and I just kind of feel like, is this person actually interested? Are they just kind of entertaining me and asking the questions? And I just, you know, try and keep it light and just underscore, you know, it's just about high vibrational love and light and connecting with spirit in a really positive way. And if they're not into it, they're more than likely not going to ask a lot of questions. So I don't really get into a lot of conversations with that. But yeah. Anywho, thanks for the question. That was a really good one. Yay! I'm getting another comment here. I'm resonating with this. Kind of sounds like my story. That's beautiful. Christina, when meditating, if you receive lots of downloads, images till you get overwhelmed, how can you stay focused? How can you sort through the information and figure out who is coming up? I feel sometimes I am surrounded by many entities, but it's hard to sort and order them. Yeah, that's a really good point, Christina. I feel like sometimes there is just like a lot of information in a download, or you're just kind of getting washed over with information. But it's really key to communicate to your team, hey, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. Can you go a little slower? Can you give me your name? Or can you tell me who is this? And the first thing that pops into your mind, the first name or the first energy to come forward for you is going to be the correct one. So don't doubt it. They're going to give you the info. But just communicating, how are you feeling right now in this moment? Asking them to change it up so that way you can feel a little bit more comfortable while staying focused and receiving the information that you need in that moment. But also, asking like, hey, can only my guardian angels be by me? And if there's a lot of questions or a lot of entities trying to share information, please speak with my guardian angel and have your guardian angels kind of play interpreter for you if you don't want to interact with a lot of entities or a lot of beings. You can also ask them to be like one at a time, please, and have them step forward, share their message, and step back. And they're all going to work with you because they want to reach out to you. They want to make you feel comfortable, and they want to connect with you and give you the information. So they're totally going to listen and try and acquiesce to everything that you're requesting of them. And, you can also say, look, I'm really tired. I need to take a break. I'm going to go lay down and take a nap. And when I'm ready, I'll ask for you to step forward too. You can totally do that as well if you need to. I often just try and observe as much as I can and absorb as much as I can. And sometimes I do just kind of like, my mind just kind of shuts down a little bit, like it's just a little too much. And that's just, I know, okay, I need to go take a nap, or I will call that out and say, okay, I'm totally willing to hear your message, but it's just a little much right now. So I'm going to come back to this when I'm ready in 20 minutes. Or, you can kind of set some time aside as you can in your day to create the space to allow that information to come through. So just try different things out, see what really makes you feel comfortable and what works for you. That's one really cool thing about mediumship and about being able to just connect to spirit in general, is it's all unique. It's all, per your being and your filter, your experiences and what you are interested in, and the questions you're going to ask and the beings you want to connect with. They're all going to listen and respond and give you what you need in the moment. Your guardian angels will probably help you open up more so you develop and push forward, but they're not going to give you too much. And I think Kristen was even saying in her mediumship story video that her team only gives her what she needs to know in the moment. They don't give her a whole backstory and all this extra context to give her like a little piece of information to share with someone. So it's really a balance, and I'm hearing my team say divine timing. As you practice and as you move forward on your journey, you're going to get more comfortable with it. So stick with it because it's really important, and you will be very happy that you were able to move forward as you're going to. So definitely great question, Christina. Keep at it and just play around with it and just see what makes you feel better and what really works for you and your style. So I have a question here. I sometimes rarely or randomly see words I've never seen or heard before in my mind's eye. So I look it up and wow, big, smart, whole other world type of words. Yes, that is totally something that my angels have done before. I hear like words, I don't even know if it's a word, and I just kind of try and spell it out in Google, and it just kind of sees like what's happening, it just kind of shows up, and then it just totally makes sense for the moment, or something that I was thinking about, or it's really cool how it just kind of shows up like that. And that's one thing that angels do really well, is giving signs that they're really like giving you confirmation or basically cheerleading, letting you know you're on the right path. This is related to what you're thinking about. You know, it's really kind of giving you as much support as they can in ways that you're open to. So you're clearly getting words just coming in, and then you look them up. They know you're going to go look it up, so they're going to continue doing that. And if anyone else is interested, you can totally ask for that to happen, and they will do that. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so let's see here. Have you had any information come through regarding hybrid children? Watched a show on Gaia last night, and that was pretty mind-blowing to me. I have had some conversations with some galactic beings around hybrid children, and often hybrid children come from a need from the group that's working with the humans, or there's even other hybrids from other civilizations, not just Earth humans. But the point of the hybrids is to help a group progress and develop in a way that's going to allow them to spiritually open up more and move forward. And predominantly the examples that I've typically heard of is with the Greys. So the Greys right now, they are not really able to fully, in their Grey civilization, their Grey group, you know, they're not really fully able to experience emotions or develop in the way that we can here on Earth. And so they've been using hybrids to help their species, their group, develop the means to be able to process the emotions in a way that humans are really good at. And they're working very hard to kind of progress their whole their society forward and in this way. And that's what a lot of the hybrids are being, or why they're being created, and what they are bringing to the Grey groups. So that's just what I've received and kind of what I've seen in some of the Starseed families that I've seen, and some of the information and the communication that I've received from my own Starseed teams. And when I ask questions of different councils and different groups and stuff in my own meditations, I get a lot of that same information around hybrids. I honestly haven't done a ton of research on them, just because they haven't really impacted me in my life or really been of a great interest to me particularly. But what I have seen is more around developing and helping around that emotional state. Because here on Earth, the reason why our souls grow and we can push forward so quickly in our ascension paths is because there's so much dynamic contrast here on Earth that it allows us to really explore all the different avenues and to gain experience and knowledge and grow from that experience and knowledge in a lot of different ways. So that's why coming to Earth is so valuable, and that's why beings here have signed up for many, many, many experiences here and keep coming here. It's because there's so much growth, even though this is the hardest place to grow and have those experiences. So it's kind of like a battleground, definitely a very challenging space, but it's so worth it, and it's still so full of love, and there's just so many beautiful things to experience here. So it's just a really it's a blessing. And from my higher self, she's told me many times that this experience is a precious jewel for us to treasure and to value, and to really just be super, not be grateful that we're having the experience, to just really cherish the experience and enjoy it while we're here. So yeah, that's a lot of a few different things that we're kind of a little sidetracked to that question, but thank you for asking that question. Okay, so I have another question here, and then I'm going to take another question from my list. But Patti is asking, can you channel while there is activity around you, or must you have a quiet space? Honestly, while I was really starting to practice, I needed it to be very quiet. I needed to set aside time and focus and energy to channel and to practice and to be very intentional with it, and to really be able to absorb all of the information that I could, because at that time I was just opening up. So it was like I wasn't getting a ton of information flowing in the way it is now. So I definitely had to have that space and set that intention. But as I've practiced and really pushed myself, I've now I can channel pretty much anywhere that I, excuse me, I would like to. I do still prefer to have a quiet space when I'm channeling for, say, people who come to me for readings, or when I'm channeling and holding Reiki sessions. Those are, really special times that I set aside to really have a quiet space. But if it's just for my own guidance, or maybe for family or friends, I'm comfortable now not having to do that in a really still, super calm space. But it definitely took me a lot of practice and a little while to get there. So definitely know that, it can be a free-flowing thing as you get going, but having that practice and really focusing on building your muscles, your channeling muscles. My grandma always calls muscles, so that's why I say that. But it's important to do so, and it really helps you in the long run, for sure. So I'm seeing here, calendar, 6 p.m. Archangel Michael, 7:30 Guardian Angel, etc. 9 p.m. Spirit Animal Conference. Yeah, setting an intention. Have a calendar. If any of you make an appointment with any specific being, they're going to show up on time, because time doesn't matter for them, but they know, like, that's when we're going to move forward with that intention. So they're going to be right there. Sometimes they even show up early, so you can kick in whenever you want, but set, calendar appointments and practice with specific beings, because they're always going to show up. So that's really cool. And I know you're just kind of writing that as a joke, but totally do it. Okay, so number 7, are you being talked to, or do you see beings all of the time? That's a really interesting question, and I kind of threw it in there because I've had this question from people who maybe don't necessarily know kind of how it works, and they almost feel like they have just a knowledge based on, like, movies like The Sixth Sense, or really crazy, like, kind of scary movies. And I wanted to highlight this because I am channeling all the time, and we all are, really. Like, we're all receiving gut instincts or guidance or little tickler reminders that, hey, you forgot your water bottle. I do that all the time. I'll leave my water bottle, and my guardian angel will be like, don't forget your water bottle. And then I'm like, oh, yep, I got to turn around and I got to go get that. And so you're always, kind of, you're getting this guidance throughout your entire day. But like, am I having spirit just walk up to me all the time? I have set some time to have that totally happen, but I also work a full-time job, so a lot of times I have to really focus. And in doing that, I kind of turn down the dials a little bit, so I'm not as open when I'm trying to do my work, or when I'm really trying to focus in. Although I have been asking a lot lately for, like, technology angels and angels that can come and help me with my work, because there's been a lot of, like, things coming up that I have to puzzle out. I'm an analyst, so there's a lot of different stuff to my job that it's just really interesting, but sometimes I get stumped, so I ask for help, and then they come in, and then I'm kind of incorporating that in my workday. So it really depends, but I don't have, like, spirit coming up to me, like, totally stopping me from doing whatever I'm doing. And I appreciate that. They know when to jump in and when to, like, just kind of let me be. So it's not like that all the time, but or it's not like totally super busy all the time, which I appreciate. But it can be as busy as you want it to be. If you want, spirit to be there and really, like, talking in your ear, and you're just full conversation with them all the time, you can be like that, totally. So Amy has a question here. Could I please get some guidance with anyone on my team? I feel like I'm at a crossroads and don't know what path I should follow. Okay, so Amy, I'm immediately getting that you just need to go within. And I feel like there's almost like you say, a crossroads, like a right way or a left way. Like you just need to pick a path. And I feel like there's definitely one that is more in line with what you want to do or who you want to be as a person. Like it's just kind of I feel like there's definitely a clear option here, but you're kind of in the space where it's really hard for you to see that. And so your team is just saying, go within and hand off any worries. Hand off this worry that you're at a crossroads and you're not sure which path to follow. No matter where you go, you're gonna, be doing what you choose to do, because you're going to choose your path, and your team is going to be there and they're going to be loving you and supporting you and cheering you on. So like there's no right or wrong way to move forward, but you definitely just try and figure out which one resonates with you more, which one seems more exciting, or which direction just kind of seems more vibrant to you. And really pay attention. I feel like they're showing me like there's like a gray road. It's just kind of gray, like it just feels really stale or kind of boring. And then there's like this really vibrant, beautiful, colorful, exciting option, or something that excites you and makes you feel more open and lighter. And you just have to go within and kind of ask the question, which one's going to work for you, and listen to your body. They're like tapping my chest right now. They want you to feel in your body the answer, because you're going to be able to really tell which direction you need to go when you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your body, you feel it in your heart chakra. One's going to sing and feel really great and open, and one's going to be like, I guess, like kind of low, sinking, not a very good feeling. So they're not giving you a straight answer like do this, but they are saying go within. You're going to be able to find the answer. And if you feel like it's stressful, or you're really worried or have a lot of fear around it, hand that off to your team and ask them to come in and really support you in making this decision. And they're going to be right there. So no worries, and just try that and see what comes to you. Let's see here. Do you share guidance with people like some mediums on TV? At this moment, I do not feel that it's important for me to just run out and like share guidance with everyone that I know, or go out and like as I'm grocery shopping, chime in on something for someone, like as I'm seeing them. I have had certain experiences where I feel really drawn to a person, and I feel like I am encouraged to send them a lot of love and light, or maybe we just kind of connect in a way that I'm feeling like their team is really wanting me to speak with them. And it doesn't even have to be like guidance. It's like just smile at them or make them feel seen. And I haven't really had yet to date a lot of experiences outside of like recognize that person, really try and connect with them on a person-to-person level. So I've had those experiences, but I haven't had a lot of experiences where I need to like, hey, your great grandma is saying hello and she loves you. Like share like information like that. There have been a few coworkers or friends that have come to me directly for guidance, and I felt really comfortable with them, so I just shared with them what their team was wanting them to know, and I was totally cool with that. But I do not just go around sharing guidance. And it's just kind of interesting. Some people are totally open and some people are not interested in that at all. And so I just I just roll with it, and it's just kind of what it is at this point. It may change down the road. I may, as I open up myself, I may have more information coming in that I really need to share with others as I see them in person, like in the grocery store, or as I, go through this life here on Facebook, or on YouTube, or in my workplace, or just out in the community. But not yet. And I honestly am not sure if my personality really lends to me just walking up to someone and saying, "Hey, your great grandma wants to say hi." So at least I'm not there yet. Maybe I will get there, but I'm more of an introvert. So yeah, let's see here. I see a few questions here. Christina, can you confirm if my mom is on my team? Lots of times I think of her and she pops in my mind, or she pops in her mind. I'm getting a big, I'm just getting a lot of love, Christina. Your mom, she's saying that she will always be there for you. And when she pops in your mind, that's her energy near you. She's just saying hello. She wants to connect with you. So when she just pops in, just talk to her in your mind, or you can even talk to her verbally if you want. Just say hi, and you can ask her questions, or you can just talk to her as if you would, like on the phone, and just reach out, and she's going to be there. Like I feel her around you a lot. Like she's kind of almost always there. I'm getting that she's not necessarily on your team in the way that your team, you have like spirit guides, and you have ancestors, and you have your angel team and your Starseed family. She's just coming in, she's just saying she just comes in. She's not putting a label on it, but she just loves you so much, and she wants you to know that she's totally fine, and that you can always talk to her. And whenever you think of her, she hears it, or she knows that you're thinking of her, and she'll pop right in, or she might just pop in on her own, and you'll sense her. So just know that she's around, and she's just giving you lots of kisses. So I hope that resonates for you, and definitely practice talking to her, asking her questions, just chatting about your day with her, because she's going to be right there. Thank you. Max the cat says thanks. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so Ruthie has a question. I've been being pulled towards healing. I have seen several signs and messages. Can you ask my team what kind of healing should I be learning? Ruthie, she sent me some emails about or some messages about angelic Reiki healing, and that's what they highlighted for me right away. Ruthie, you've been really pulled to angelic Reiki, and they're really hoping you choose that one. Of course, it's always a choice. If you don't want to go down that path, that's okay. But angelic Reiki is really, really powerful, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. And it's very, I feel like it's very unique in that you don't have to be doing a lot as far as like writing symbols or setting up your space in a certain way. Like you can do angelic Reiki anywhere, and you can do it like that. Like you can just start it up, and it's just really awesome. As long as you're connecting and you've gotten permission from the person, you can just do it right there, wherever you're at. And I think that I'm getting that sense like flexibility and just kind of like an easiness is something that's going to benefit you. So just from that perspective, I would highly recommend angelic Reiki. I find that it's really nice, that it's fairly easy to just connect, and then it's just nice to just go, and I don't have to know all the symbols and chant or say any specific words. It's just kind of there, and I like that. It's very easy peasy, and that's what makes me happy, is making it easy. So I hope that resonates for you, Ruthie. I'm asking them, is there anything else? They're saying there are other healing methods that you could go into, but I'm just getting really drawn to that one. So I hope that resonates with you. Oh, actually, and I'm seeing you're saying, thank you, that was what I was thinking. Awesome, perfect. Definitely go for it. And I highly recommend Compass Rose. Their website is changeyourcompass.com. They are really, really knowledgeable, super amazing, very intuitive, and they're very serious but very warm people that teach there at Compass Rose. So I really love them. I think they're great. And Ruthie or anyone else who's interested in training with them, I'd highly recommend them. They're awesome. Okay, so let's see here. Does anything affect how you communicate with spirit? That's number 9. And yes, there are some things that definitely affect me and how I communicate with spirit. I know that I can't drink coffee and I can't drink soda and I can't eat a lot of sugary stuff before I do a channeling. And often I try not to eat too much. I have found that if I'm too full, I'm just really tired and it's a harder time for me focusing and tuning in. So I try and keep a pretty light stomach, just drink a lot of water, or I really enjoy LaCroix, so carbonated, lightly flavored waters. So I just try and keep it light before I channel. I do also try and make sure that I have not consumed any lower vibrational content like stories or media or YouTube videos or anything like that. So I know for me, as an Unsolved Mysteries junkie or true crime junkie, I love a good puzzle, a good detective story. I recognize that because I was really interested in those, and I just listened to podcasts and I liked watching those shows. I had a lot of fear from those shows, and it really brought out some of those fear-based thoughts that I just wasn't really comfortable maintaining. So I do occasionally still watch Unsolved Mysteries or true crime shows, but I keep it very, very minimal, and I'm really, really focused on making sure that I'm focusing immediately on high vibrational content, and making sure that as I'm going into channeling, I'm not kind of in that space. So I definitely really focus in on that. And I also like to just clean out my energy. As you just go through the day, you pick stuff up from other people, or just from just how the day's gone, So I like to clear out my energy. And I can do that just by asking my team to please clear my energy and send any energy that's not of my own to their owners, back to their owners, and transmuted and pure. So I like to send it back nice and clean so the other person can also benefit as well. And I also call my own spirit back, well, it's kind of my spirit, my own energy back. Any energy that I've sent out, I call it back transmuted and pure. So it's just back with me, it's for me, it's my energy, and I can continue always sending it out and sharing it as I will. So that's kind of how, for me as an empath, I help manage my own energy, my own boundaries. And as an empath, it's really important, as I am so open, to make sure that I'm really minding my energy, so that way I'm not bogged down and I'm not kind of shut down. Otherwise, I can't really be as open or channel as much as I would like. So I really focus in on that. And it's all just the choices that we make. So I know, if I'm going to go and watch a true crime story, I'm probably not going to channel for the rest of the day or immediately right after, or I'm not going to really try and open myself up too much because I need to clear that energy. So it's all about choices and making, some good choices when you're ready to communicate with spirit or be open in that space. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's really nice. And I appreciate all of you guys asking such wonderful questions and helping me share my experiences with you all. And I'm really enjoying it. So thank you so much. Question here. What direction is my work taking me, please? If there's anything. Right now, I'm just getting a sense of stagnancy. like you're just kind of in a holding pattern. But I feel like, and I'm asking your team, that's just kind of where it needs to be for the moment. So I'm getting a sense that you just don't need to stress too much about it. Just kind of do what you need to do, move forward as you can. If you're interested in changing anything in your career or changing your skill set or changing your focus, now's a really good time to start researching what would that take to change your career or to bring in more skills. There are so many ways that you can study online. Excuse me. Oh, there's just a lot of energy in here. Study online, or just kind of, take some refreshers, or to just kind of think about what it is that you want to do and start really acting on them. Like, for example, there are so many different classes that are going on or going to be coming up soon. Like, I have my Starseed class, Learn Your Own Starseed Origins class, coming up in August 1st through the 8th. And that is a really excellent opportunity for you or anyone else to connect to your Starseed family and to ask for guidance on the direction that you need to take. And one of the really cool things about the class is that you're able to not only get an introduction to your Starseed family, like who are they, how have they worked with you, but you can ask them a lot of really excellent questions around, like, what's my life purpose? What should I focus on? What kind of healing should I go into? Or can you please help me find a new hobby or a new career? Like, you can really connect with them. And I'm excited about the class because we're going to be really focusing on how to not only connect with your Starseed family, but how do you work with them day in and day out to really build the life that you want with them as a part of your spiritual team, and turning to them for guidance and having them come in and help clear energy and help provide just the support that you need in this life experience, because they all know what we're going through and what we're facing, and the experiences that we're going through, and the growth opportunities that we've signed up for. And they're going to be there to really help and support us because they love us. They've had experiences with us. We've lived with them before. We've met them before in other ways, and they're deeply connected to us as a part of our soul family. So they want to come in and really help support. So I think that's an excellent opportunity if you're looking for maybe a change in your life and you want to kind of get a sense of more of who's on your team and how are you supported by spirit. Definitely check that out. There's also the Mediumship for 102 course coming up with Kristen and myself. I'm going to be supporting Kristen in her class, so that's going to be really, really exciting. And that is one that is a little bit faster paced. So if you haven't taken any of the other courses from Kristen before, you might want to take one of those before you jump into the 102, because we do push quite a bit in that one, and it's really, really awesome. It's just an opportunity to kind of push your boundaries and to really develop some of your skill in just a faster paced environment. So I highly recommend that. And I think the next one is coming up in August 15th is the 102. And I totally will correct myself if I am wrong in the comments after this video. And then the Mediumship for Beginners course is coming up October 15th through the end of October. And so that's going to be really exciting too. And that's where you can really start building and getting a sense of where you're at in communicating with spirit, and then building on that pretty quickly. And then just running with it afterwards it's awesome. I love both of those courses. I will be involved in both of those. With Kristen. She's leading them and hosting them, but I will be supporting her and supporting everyone who signs up for those classes. And then the Starseed class is run by me, and I'll be leading that course. And I'm really, really excited about it. So there's a lot of ways that you can connect and learn more about spirit, or I don't know, about any sort of hobbies that you want. But I'm just getting a sense that there's kind of, for you, an opportunity to kind of pause and assess what is it that you want to be in your life, and then you have chances to go out and start studying and start incorporating them into your life. So I hope that resonates for you. And if anyone has any questions about any of that, any of the course information, definitely let me know and I can clarify anything. Okay, so that was that question. Ruthie, yes, it does. Thank you. Compass Rose, that's online. Yeah, Compass Rose, their website is changeyourcompass.com. And for the mediumship classes, go to KristenDaviesMedium.com. I forgot to mention that. That's where you can sign up directly with Kristen. And then for my class, channelingwithlove.com, right here. But changeyourcompass.com is Compass Rose, and that's where I was trained in Angelic Reiki. And like I said, I'm totally really supportive of them and highly recommend them. Okay, let's see here. Does anything oh, sorry, I already asked the question. Okay, final question. What is one thing you would want everyone to know about mediumship? I think one thing that I would want everyone to know is that you're already doing it without even realizing it. And it's super easy, and it's really a valuable skill. That was a whole bunch of different things I wanted people to know, but kind of rolled up into one. It's really valuable. It's super easy. And it's just something that will really bring so much joy to your life in a lot of different ways. Not even ways that, you know, there's the traditional, okay, I'm communicating with spirit, I feel more comfortable, like I kind of have a good sense or ways to communicate. But there's just fun, crazy, cool things that can happen too that make life really interesting and fun. And it's just really entertaining. So I want to roll all of that up into one thing, but I can't. So I'm just going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope that if any of this resonates with you, that I really hope that some of this resonates with you guys. If you have any questions about the Starseed course or mediumship courses, definitely let me know. And yeah, it's just, mediumship is so amazing, and it doesn't even have to be like, I'm just saying mediumship is like communicating with spirit. It's not necessarily super professional or anything, just being able to do that and being able to go within and connect to yourself and to your guardian angels and to spirit in general is just a priceless gift. And I hope that I can help you guys in any way. And, you know, I'm just really happy that I could share my experiences tonight. And thank you guys for hanging out and asking awesome questions. And I really appreciate all of you. And thank you guys so much. One really quick thing before I hop off, I will have a Starseed meditation this Sunday coming up in Channeling with Love, and it's going to be really awesome. What I've done is I've kind of set the intention that I want everyone's Starseed family, whether you're introduced to them already or not, if you join the meditation, basically it's going to be really focusing in on having all of our Starseed families come together and just basically help clear our energy and to help us just, you know, fill up with a lot of high vibrational love and light energy, and help everyone around us also receive a blessing of love and light from our Starseed families, and to just connect and just be in a really beautiful space. So I felt like Sunday we really needed to have that opportunity. So that's the intention with that, and I hope that you guys can join me. It's going to be Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, live here on the group wall. So definitely check it out, and I hope to see you guys all there. And thank you guys so much. Have a good one. Bye.